Hello. In this video, we're going to go over how to identify the center and radius of a circle given its equation. So we see here that we are not given the formula in the normal circle formula, right? In our base formula for a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. HK is my center. That's the center of the circle. That's it. R is my radius. That's it. That's all we need to know to find that circle. Okay. So what we notice here is that we don't have it in that form. What we need to do is complete the square, and then that's going to give us the solution we need to finish off this problem. So let's start with rewriting what we got. I have, let's start with black, x squared, and then I'm going to add minus the 2x. We put a plus blank. Then we do the same thing. Y squared plus 6y, we do a plus blank. Equals, and we're going to move the one that doesn't have an x or a y over to the other side, negative 9. We have to add the two blanks because what we're going to do is complete these squares. What I add to one side, I have to add to the other. That's it. So this is the trick we do. We take negative 2. I times it by 1/2. We get negative 1. I square this value. And let's make sure I write this a little bigger. Sorry. Get negative 1. I square this value becomes positive 1. This positive 1 goes up to the blanks. That's what goes up because that's what completes that square. And we're going to do it one more time. Let's take the red. We're going to take our 6, multiply it by 1/2. We get, and I like to keep the sign, and you'll see why, because I have a little shortcut for these. We're going to square that, and we get 9. And we're going to, let's put that in purple so it's not confusing. We get our 9, and 9 comes up here to both of those blanks on top. Okay, perfect. So now we're pretty much done. And I'll show you what my shortcut is. Basically, what you see here is x squared minus 2x plus 1, and I can factor that. That's a trinomial. We can X method, we can guess and check, and we're going to get a value because that's a perfect square we just created, completing the square. But I have a little trick. After doing this, all you have to do is in this parentheses step, put an X right here, right after doing all of the putting the numbers back up top. And then all you have to do is bring it down. And my answer is x minus 1 squared plus, oh, this should be a y. Y plus 3 squared equals to negative 9 plus 9 is 0 plus 1. So let's make sure we make this a not an X, right? Because that is not an X, that is a Y. So that is my little shortcut that I do. And you can easily see now, oh, the center, flip the values on the inside for HK, we have 1, negative 3. The radius is the square root of 1, which is just 1. Perfect. We just found the radius and the center. And just to show you, if we were to factor this, we would get, let's do our guess and check method. Oops. We would get x minus, and we see x minus 1 completes this. That's why it's x minus 1 squared. And if you go over here, you'll have y plus 3 times y plus 3 after factoring it the long way, and you see y plus 3 squared. So this little method right here is a shortcut just to jump straight into the next step and not have to worry about it, because that is the equation of the line. This is the center, this is the radius, and we're good to go. If you have any other questions, just let me know. Drop it in an email, send something in a comment. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great day.